You're welcome, viewers. This is the Healing Room with Chinwosoko, and today we have a lovely guest in our midst. I'll let her do her introduction. Yeah, so once again, I'm Chinwosoko Esther Apama, a mental health nurse, and today we'll be talking about the pain of a teenage mother. Here with us, we have.
Oh, this is Flourish Morty, and I'm an aviator. And thank you so much, Esther, for giving me this opportunity.
Oh yeah,
to
we
be
are
here
so
on your
delighted to have you
program.
here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about, like I said, pain of a teenage mother is really a sensitive topic, and then we can't deny it's very prominent right now in our society. So we'll be talking about the pain, and then we know there are several pains. But before we talk about the pain, let's begin from somewhere. Yeah, I would like to know, how did we get here in the first place? How did it begin? How did it come about? Teenage mothers, because I mean, mothers should be adults. So how did we even get here in the first place?
That's right. Okay. Actually, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but I think we all mostly have the same goal about this. We do not like it.
Yeah.
It is something that shouldn't be, and then it just keeps happening. Some things are actually beyond our control as humans. So what I have to say about this is teenage mother, getting there in the first place. I mean, it's kind of absurd, and I guess sometimes it starts from family, and sometimes it starts from culture or tradition. Let me put it that way, because there are some traditions, or there are people who are not exposed, who feel that okay, because they don't understand education, and their families actually, who they don't really care about education. Let me start from the family. They don't really care about education, and then most times you see some mothers are like, oh, you're becoming grown, you're about let's say 16, and you have some prominent aged men, probably around the age of maybe 60 or something, who are looking for younger girls to settle with, and the mother is like, oh, he's from a rich family, so you know what, let's give them out.
So are you saying that parents are the cause for early sexual involvement of children?
Actually, yes, I am saying that some parents contribute to that disaster. Some parents encourage that. Some parents, they actually cover it up in aspects of marriage.
Oh.
So instead of the kid going out there to get spoiled, they usually just put them in that line of marital proposals for them to, you know.
Well, I see what you're saying. But I would say that there are so many teenagers out there who their parents are against this, because it ends up affecting the family dynamics.
Yeah.
Because these children, their parents are trying to keep them, send them to school, and then they're out there being deceived, let me not say deceived by the guys, or getting themselves deceived,
Yeah.
and then going into the family way. So what do you say?
Yeah, that's why I said some parents, because there are some parents who are illiterate.
Oh, yes,
They don't
true.
really understand what education is.
Yeah, true.
What they feel is, I give birth to a girl and I need to take the bride price. It's time for her to move on. It's time for her to, you know, go in and get her own family. You hear some mothers saying, I got married at a very young age, and instead of my daughter to go out there and have a child out of wedlock, it's better the child just gets married. So by this, it's now legal. It takes away the shame, the stain from the family. So yes, I've seen families like that, and this is totally wrong. So now that is the first instance when it comes to parenting. I know there's some parents who kick against, actually many parents kick against it, but there are some parents who are not actually literate.
Yeah.
So I've seen, I've actually had
I get your point.
had some, yeah.
Oh, so now let's quickly move into the kind of pain these children go through.
Okay.
The kind of pain they go through. I know there are physical pains, emotional pains, social pains, and then even economical pain, education setbacks, and relationship challenges. Let's begin with the physical pain.
Okay, well, the physical pain is something very excruciating for a teenage mother, in the sense that even as an adult, we actually know how we feel when we go into that room, and not to talk of teenagers who don't even understand, they haven't been put in that situation where they even have to fend for themselves. and now they
Organs
carry
are not
the,
even developed
not
enough.
at all. Probably the pelvics are closed and all that. And going into that room, most of them lose their lives.
They do.
Yeah.
Come down with different complications.
Exactly. Sometimes health challenges.
Yes.
Because sometimes this teenage pregnancy also comes from, rape
Yes.
in
a
the
lot.
society. Yeah, it's a malfunction in the society, and probably these people have AIDS, STDs because they've been messing around, and and then they come into these girls and they just deposit whatsoever they want to deposit, and these girls not only go through the complication of the child's death, they end up going through health challenges at the same time. Sometimes a long-term health challenge at the same
Yeah.
time, which isn't actually right.
This can really be a very emotional topic to talk about because it's here striking nerves why I speak about it, because I can imagine an underdeveloped child coming down with all the vesicovaginal fistula, having to urinate and even poo without control, children having to be in this position. Yeah, I understand with you. We've had so many of them, even in the north, in the corn north, where they marry so early and then they give him a 9. We've had them recently. I think we've had to go online and say no to the girl-child marriage because it's destroying our children. Oh yeah, so that's the physical pain that comes with it. Emotional, what do you think are the mental health challenges that teenage mothers often experience?
Okay, well, some of the mental health challenges teenage mothers actually experience are mostly isolation sometimes, because you see other kids or other teenagers who are actually pursuing the dream, but due to the fact that there is a setback with this teenage mother who already is pregnant, already have kid, she cannot actually pursue what her mates are pursuing at that particular moment. And sometimes you see these other kids insulting,
Laughing
saying
at
that.
them,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you just laugh at them
And it makes
and
them
say
have this
things about them.
exactly. Now it makes them have this low self-esteem. They then lock themselves up in a cage
Secluded.
emotionally. Yeah, and some of these teenagers don't even have someone to talk to because wherever they turn to, everyone is criticizing them.
Yes, everyone is criticizing.
Everyone is critical. They don't even care to know how it happened or what prompted it to happen. They just criticize strictly. And most times, they don't even, the parents of this kid, sometimes, okay, let's take for instance a kid who the parents are already late, who is a victim of rape. What do we say about those kids now mentally? They don't have anyone to talk to,
have
no
anyone,
counselor to speak to, and then whenever, exactly, and then people just condemn them and say a lot of things, and even when they have the opportunity to move forward, because of the low self-esteem, they just find it so hard to even accept those offers because they feel it's not real. They feel they're gonna be taken advantage of again.
Yeah, the societal judgment really brings a lot of emotional issues, isolation, depression creeps in, and then imagine having the whole symptoms that come with pregnancy, or even becoming a mother, the postpartum depression that creeps in, and then the societal judgment just worsens it up. Okay, let's move to the economical pain. Oh, imagine for those who, at the end of the day, their parents are like, oh, no, we are disowning you. You can't bring shame. We are in Africa, No parent wants shame from their parents. Now imagine, what are the economical pain these teenage mothers have to go through?
Well, this economical pain, most of these teenagers, they no longer have support. In fact, they can't even, when they want to decide to work, where are they going to keep their kids? Most official jobs do not even give that avenue for kids to come in and work. That is the truth. So where do they keep their kids? Who's going to fend for them? Probably even the person who impregnated this girl is no longer in the picture. For instance, is no longer in the picture. So who takes care of this girl? You would then end up seeing that they are then forced, most time, to just accept their fate and probably start giving out their body.
Yes.
Most of them become prostitutes. They just begin to give out their bodies because
You see
they don't.
some of them hawking.
Exactly.
Some of them hawking because at least while hawking, you can easily back the child.
Yeah.
Because jobs that could fetch them that much money,
Yeah.
they need to be present.
Yeah.
And then while you're present working, you need to be present to
Yeah.
take care of a child.
Yeah.
And then going into toddlers, you know what it means to have a toddler.
Exactly.
And then you need to be available. You need to be there. Oh, they are bringing hell down from the house. They're
Yeah.
burning places. They are doing the most risky things.
Some of them
You
even,
have to be there.
yeah, most times see some of them also sleeping on the bridge. Some of them don't even have a place to stay, and sometimes they get taken advantage of again. At this instance, yeah. So it's actually it's not something to even think about. It's really insane.
Again, you know, for them, they get to stop school. They get to stop school, and then when they don't go to school, how do they get a career? How do they even earn at the end of the day? So it's a lot. It's a lot. Now,
Honestly, it's a lot.
educational setbacks. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Well, educational setbacks still boils down to support. I mean, why are you going for education when you don't even have anyone to support you and you can barely even work to feed your baby? Not to talk about yourself. Even as a single person, you know how the economy is in Nigeria here, and most times it's a bit hard for some certain individuals to put themselves together. Not to talk about a single mother who has a kid. Now she's not just talking about herself; she's talking about her kid, and kids demand lots of attention, lots of materials to really look after them, and not even talk about education. So where are they gonna start from? So most of these ladies don't end up having that support to even go to school or anything. And if majority of Nigerians don't go to school, so how do we become better? How do we create a better Nigeria? So I think this is something that the government should really look into and try to help out those girls.
Parents also, there's a need for parents to understand that, I mean, once it has happened, a mistake, or not even a mistake, like a child who doesn't listen and sit at home, go to school, study, I know they're choosing to be involved in sexual activities at their early ages. I think it is still the parents' duty to love, correct them wisely, and then still support them through school. Even though I know, even while they have support, for those who have support, going through school, pregnant and having a child is still demanding. But I mean, with the right support, we can still get the best out of them.
Yeah, that's right.
So yes, the popular one, relationship challenges. You know, it is a lot. I've gone on social media and then I've seen so much. Oh, you hear guys saying I cannot deal with a single mother and then baby mamas. There's so much going around now in the society. You can't walk the streets of TikTok, of X now. You can't walk the streets without hearing how single mothers are being bashed and having a child. How do they manage relationship challenges?
I mean, this relationship challenge, it has to do with orientation, because these men that are coming in contact with this single lady, sometimes it has to do, like I said, it has to deal with orientation. Because if this guy growing up know that, probably his friends are talking about single mothers, and oh boy, you have to really, you're not even only going to take care of this woman, but she also has a child. And the child, if you to take a single mother, most definitely you need to consider supporting the child at the same time. So sometimes these men, sometimes they're not even standing strong on their own. Sometimes they're just struggling to put themselves together as single men,
and so to take care of you and a child.
Exactly, and it's not even their child. So most of them, they just fall off it. But there's some. I've also seen some men who have proper orientation, that feel, okay, if she's willing to build with me, we can still build a life together. And in fact, sometimes I've also seen where a single man meets a single mother, and then the build a life together, and then you wouldn't even know that the baby isn't theirs, because they have a different orientation, a different mindset from the other set of people. And I cannot also blame the other set of people, because it's not in our power to control our mindset most times. We still learn every day, even as adults. So.
Yeah, I've also had to have a discussion with a relative, I think yesterday or the Thursday, and then we just talked about single mothers, and I was like, oh, it's their fault. And I'm like, no, you can't say that. There are different reasons why teenage women, teenage girls have had to have children, and You can't say, oh, because she has a child, she's not good enough, she's useless and everything. But yeah, just like you said, the orientations. And well, we are looking forward to having men that know better, now. And then there are a lot of conflicts that arise between guardians, parents, and these children. We've talked about that in earlier when we were talking about educational setbacks. The parents need to be more educated, need to be more understanding, need to understand that the people they are so bothered about, like, oh, you've embarrassed us, you've brought shame to the family name. These people, it's not as if they care about you.
In fact, let me even cut you there. Sorry, but let me cut you there. You see those parents that usually stand on this ground of, oh, you brought shame to the family. If you look very well, some of those parents were not even present for those children emotional control. Most of them are out working. All the time they're all working. Now these children come back home, they don't have who to talk about their day. No one asks them, oh, how did your day go? Who did you meet today? And so they end up only banking on the peer pressure. And then they go into it. And then this same parents still end up blaming them. And saying, oh, you brought shame to the family. And in fact, the children are even confused in the first place.
They are.
You know? So it's actually it's not a good thing at all. I think parents should actually wake up. Parents should actually wake up to the mental status of their children, not just about work, and not just about leaving
being
your
available.
Exactly.
Being available.
Exactly, because some of those parents just probably they have a house help, and instead the house help is raising your child. But there is no way.
In a nutshell, have children you can take care of.
Exactly. If you feel you cannot really take care of those kids, it's better. Exactly, it's better not to have.
Yeah, very soon you need to watch out. There's an episode coming in soon. It's talking about what's the cause for moral laxity in the society. You need to watch out. It's going to be a very interesting topic, because where is the cause coming from? I know there are primary causes and I know that there are secondary causes, but what is the primary? It's boiling down to our families. Oh yeah, so we are almost rounding up. Thank you so much for your time with us. So want to know the long-term impacts. The long-term impacts. I know how do teenage mothers end up contributing to the circles of poverty in the society? Because when you have a mother who can't fend for herself, can't even fend for her child. The child, you see them outside begging tomorrow.
You've said
that
it
day
all.
we've brought out robbers, we brought out whatever it is.
Exactly.
So what do you think with the long term?
Yeah, actually, you've already said it all. But in addition to what you've said, this long-term pain, like you said, sometimes they become robbers because they didn't have a proper upbringing, and sometimes they don't even have control of what's happening to them in their life, because actually they didn't bring themselves into the world. And most of them just go hawking and still fall victim of rape. The males sometimes go into robbery, and sometimes they even have diseases.
Yeah, so what health risks do children of teenage mothers face, and how can early support reduce them?
Okay, early support. If these children are being provided with proper counseling, because through counseling you get to know what the problem is. Some of them wouldn't even open up to you because they don't know if you're also going to mock them, or if you're also going to stand against them or use some kind of hurting or hurtful words on them.
Also, they need to train these parents, give them opportunities like trades like sewing, hairdressing, and all the photography skills, just to support them financially. Because if there is no finances, whatever it is, if a man is hungry, whatever you have to offer that is not filling their tummy, it's useless. So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
It is an eye-opener to teenagers. There's time for everything. Let's just put it that way. There's time for everything. There's a time to be in relationships sexually. There's a time to stay put. And of course, there are people who are in the family way from rape, we said it earlier, and from different situations. Parents, this is a time for you to be there for your children. They're very inquisitive. They're getting into the teenage ages and they just want to know everything. This is a time for you to be there for them. And the society also, while we're calling on parents, on teenagers to to make better decisions are worship centers. How did we forget? This is a place in Africa we look up to. We have religion and we hold religion very high.
Yeah.
This is where religious homes come in, religious places come in, and also the society. We need to provide a safe environment and say no to child marriages. Also, elder men stay off younger girls.
Exactly.
Let them
please.
concentrate. They are children.
Yeah.
They are children. Puberty doesn't mean maturity.
Exactly.
Yes, for them to start to
That's
have
right.
children. I mean, puberty is just a stage, and then it doesn't make anyone. Let's let our teenage girls go into adults, so we can have better family, and then keep them healthy. Because if you look at the mortality and morbidity rate due to child pregnancies, teenage pregnancies, it's on the high. It's on the high. Thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you
I
very
hope
much.
you enjoyed it, and I hope you're all enjoying today's episode about the pain of a teenage mother. Thank you. This is the Healing Room with Chinwosoko. I am a mental health nurse, and of course, this is Ruko TV. Don't be confused. RUKO, Ruko TV. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
We're waiting your comments in the comment section. This could help us for our next sessions and episodes. Thank you.